guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through a couple weeks of sales between the dates of July 20th through August 2nd. I have sales on Depop, Poshmark, and eBay. None on Mercari, but I have a lot on Depop to go through, which is exciting that I've been making steady sales on Depop. I hope that continues because Depop has really low fees and I would just love to make a lot of sales on Depop. That would be the dream. Anyway, let's go into my sales.
All right, you guys, we have a lot of sales to go through today. I'm going to talk kind of like more in a whispery voice, not completely whisper, but my daughters are sleeping upstairs and I lost my mic on my headphones. So this is what we're going to do today. But yeah, I have a lot of Depop sales to talk about today. I don't know why Depop has been really steady for me. In my last What Sold video, I had no Depop sales. It just happened that I made no Depop sales that week. But then the past couple of weeks, I've made a lot of Depop sales, like one every other day, it feels like, although I have no Mercari sales to go through from these past couple of weeks, which I don't know why. Mercari's been pretty dead for me. I haven't even been getting a lot of like notifications. I'll get a notification from Mercari when someone likes an item that I'm selling, but I haven't even been getting a lot of those. So I think that Mercari is like slowly dying out. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't sell a lot on Mercari. A lot of people drop the platform. I'm going to keep it because it's super easy to cross list over there. And, you know, in the instances that I do make a sale, right, that's money that I made that I wouldn't otherwise have made. Let's dive in to Depop. We'll start with this, which is the very first sale. This actually was July 20th. I made this sale. This is an Intimately Free People white green oversized baggy comfy romper size extra large. In my tags, I was going to say hashtags, but just my tags, I put lounge and casual. So not a lot of keywords. On all my other platforms, I did have a stock photo. This is like a romper. It kind of looks like a shirt. They had like a stock photo on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, but Depop is a little bit more strict with their stock photos. I've never gotten in trouble for it, but I've started to be really careful with that. And so no stock photo for this one, but I bought this for $7 at Uptown Cheapskate. It sold for an offer of $30, making my profit $21.56. Now, as I say my profits, I am talking about my net profit, but I noticed that I think that on my chart, my Depop calculations are wrong. I think it's missing one of the fees. I think it has one of the fees in there, but not the other one. Because, for example, I would look at the one sale and then it would have, you know, the two fees taken out and then it would give me my total. And my total would be like lower than how much it said I made on my chart, even though my chart also takes out my cost of goods, if that makes sense. So I think there's something wrong with my Depop calculations, but we'll stick to these calculations. I mean, I know they're close. It's probably only like a couple dollars difference, but you'll get an idea of what my profit is. This next sale was a pretty quick sale. Sorry, I kind of got allergies going on here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the Intimately Free People romper only took 18 days to sell. A lot of the stuff that I got at the Uptown Cheapskate, those two stores have been selling really quickly. But I did get so much from there, it makes sense that, you know, certain items are going to sell quickly, just like from any other thrift trip. So this is an Abercrombie & Fitch cherry red girly linen blend mini dress size medium tall. So that's kind of like a good factor that it was a tall size because tall women do look for that specifically. In my style tags, I put summer, cherry coated, going out, vacation, and pop of color. I do have two pictures of women modeling this dress. But the thing is, they're not stock photos. So I don't think you'll get in trouble for non-stock photos. These were from like women's blogs. I think there was like a Like to Know It, and like one was from Instagram. But it definitely gives, you know, the buyer an idea of what it would look like on. So I did include those two pictures. I paid $4 for this dress. It sold for $20, making my profit $14.89. And this only took 9 days to sell. I feel like Abercrombie & Fitch, when it comes to that brand, sometimes I have items that sell really well and really fast, and then other times they just don't. But that was also a really cute red color. And it also, I feel like the fact that it was a tall size made it more desirable. This next sale is a brown leather loop chain festival cowgirl rodeo adjustable tie belt. There was some like greening, I think it's called patina, when like the metal kind of gets green and makes things around it green in like a few places, which I did include pictures of. But in my style tags, I put boho, western, and casual. This is the first time I've ever modeled a belt on my mannequin. Usually I just do it on the floor. This belt had like no shape, unless it was like tied up. So I used my mannequin for this. I paid $1 for it. It sold for $14, which was an offer that I accepted, making my profit $12.09. And this only took 30 days to sell. I do like to look in the belt section. I think that I only have like one belt left though in my inventory, because I haven't looked in the belt section at a thrift store in a while. Let's see. This next sale, I have a lot of these Hirsch and Timber dresses that I got from Uptown Cheapskate, and it was such a good investment. I knew these dresses would sell well because they're 100% linen and just so timeless and classic. So this is a Hirsch and Timber gray 100% linen minimalist wrap front midi dress, size 12. Oh, and also all these dresses were clearly new without tags. So I put new without tags, never worn or washed. I think this one didn't have a size tag, but it was like a size 12 according to measurements, and then I included measurements. In my style keywords, I put bohemian, cottagecore, clean girl, neutral, capsule wardrobe, and beachy. I should have also put timeless. I haven't included that recently in any of my listings, but it is a good keyword. I almost clicked out. Well, I did click out, but I need to tell you guys the stats for this. I paid $6.50 for it. It sold for $24.90. So really random amount, but it was an offer that I got. So I accepted it, making my profit $17.13. And this only took 18 days to sell. So really good. I made sure to steam a lot of those Hirsch and Timber dresses, but lately when I've been listing the last few that I have, I just haven't bothered steaming them. So this is an Urban Outfitters red lace baby doll romantic fit and flare romper size small. In my description, I put festival girly cherry coated. There's that keyword again that I also used in that Abercrombie and Fitch dress listing. I also put summer and going out. Again, like I said, this is not a stock. This is not like a stock photo. This was some girl's like Instagram post. So I felt comfortable using it. I don't think I'd be banned from the platform for that. I paid $3.30 for this. It sold for a full asking price of $25, which I was kind of surprised about, making my profit $20.43. And this only took 22 days to sell. So we have a lot of quick sales happening on Depop. This next sale is this Baltic-born purple lace off-the-shoulder bridesmaid bohemian maxi dress, size medium. In my description, I put the keywords boho, feminine, flowy, casual, and whimsy goth. I paid $6 for this dress. It sold for $32, making my profit $24.49, and this took 31 days to sell. When I spotted this at Uptown Cheapskate, I knew that it would sell well because Baltic Born, I actually feel like it doesn't retail for a ton, but this dress was beautiful. It was maxi length, very just like a really pretty purple color too. Here is another Hirsch and Timber dress. This one had a ton of attention as well as on eBay. It had a ton of attention. This one I feel like was the best style out of all of them because it was more modest than the others and was very, very cottagecore, like cottagecore to a T. So this is a Hirsch and Timber white cottagecore prairie tradwife maxi dress size large. In my description, I put the keywords cottagecore, clean girl, neutral capsule wardrobe, and maiden. I paid $7.50 for this one. It sold for $28, making my profit $19.13, and it only took 10 days to sell. I do think that I could have gotten my full asking price, but I've really been in the mindset of if I get an offer and it's like above 50%, I want to take it because I want to keep sales moving. I don't want to put too much value on my items, right? Like if I have like an item that is a really rare brand that I know I can get like a really high amount for, I won't take too low of offers, but I don't want to get overly attached to my items, if that makes sense. We have another item where I totally forgot to remove the stock photo. This is a stock photo, but this is a Madewell Navy twill. Oh, I just realized I put navy twice. Anyway, navy milkmaid modest 3/4 sleeve mini dress size medium. In my description, put the keyword So, oh, let's see if it'll let me go down here. I put peasant, bohemian, cottagecore, granola girl, and casual. The keyword milkmaid is so freaking trendy right now, and this did have that milkmaid cut. It's basically where like there's like a seam right under their bust. So it's kind of like a baby doll style, but not exactly. It kind of like accentuates the bust, but not in like a super sexual way. It's just very feminine, and it's a really, really trendy style right now. I paid $6 for this dress. It sold for $32, making my profit $24.49. And this took 11 days to sell. This is incredible. So many really, really quick sales. Next sale is this really unique sweater. This is from Christopher and Banks, which I shortened to CNB, forest green fleece embroidered moose moon cabin core button up jacket size medium. In my description, put the keywords camping, grandma core, unique, cool, woodsy, and casual. I paid $2 for this sweater at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $19, making my profit $15.92. And this took 68 days to sell. This was a really cool sweater. It did have some wash wear, but it was a really low cost of goods, and I love picking up really cool vintage stuff from the Goodwill outlet. Next sale, we have this Live and Let Live blue bell sleeve rhinestone sparkly boho login look blouse size 3X. In my description, I put the keywords V-neck, stretchy, festival, artsy, crochet, flowy, comfy, feminine, as well as maximalism in my hashtags. I paid 50 cents for this at an estate sale. I think I had this I think I did a haul on this estate sale trip, but this was one of the tops that I knew I had to get because it was plus size. A lot of her stuff that she had in her house was plus size, and this one was just gorgeous. I really liked everything about it. So paid 50 cents, like I said, sold for $15.80, random number that I got an offer for. So I did accept that, making my profit $14.33. I feel dishonest every time like I say my profit because I know that my chart is wrong now after observing a few sales, but just know it's like a couple dollars off probably from the profit I'm saying. But yeah, this took 101 days to sell. But it's crazy because I feel like that estate sale trip wasn't that long ago, but obviously it was more than 100 days ago because I didn't list it the same day I went to that trip. So it was more than 100 days ago. So this is a bundle. I think I've only gotten one other Depop bundle before in my entire reselling career. And this person paid the full asking price for 2 of my 100% linen dresses. So this first one is a Hirsch and Timber beige 100% linen boho minimalist baby doll maxi dress size large. In my description, I put the keywords bohemian, cottagecore, clean girl, neutral, capsule wardrobe, and beachy. I paid $6.50 for this dress. It sold for $35, my full asking price, making my profit around $26.90. And this took 25 days to sell. And then the other one is this vintage Mika beige 100% linen cottagecore minimalist neutral midi dress size 10. In my description, I put the keywords 90s granola girl, clean girl, Scandi girl, simple, beachy, and coastal. I paid $3.50 for this dress. They marked it really low for some reason, and it sold for my full asking price of $32, making my profit around $26.99. And this took 24 days to sell. I knew that dress, specifically that Mika one, would sell well because it's just so beautiful, and I like that it's vintage. And then last sale of the day of this day for Depop. This is from the brand Kathmandu, and I recently made a K Brands video. It's up on my channel. I actually listed it today, not obviously the same day that this video will be coming out, but I went on this thrift trip and I found this, and it was from Kathmandu Imports. I didn't recognize the brand, so I looked it up, and the sell-through rate and average sale price on eBay was actually pretty good. But then for some reason, I just never added that to my K brands list. So this is a good K brand as well. This is a Kathmandu Imports orange knit boho casual hippie cropped tank top size small. In my style tags, I put minimalist, neutral, and bohemian. I paid only $1 for this. It sold for $12, which was an offer that I got. I think I could have held out for more, but I was like, it's Depop, the fees are low. My profit's around $10.15, and this took 12 days to sell. Kathmandu is known for like being very boho and artsy and like hippie vibes. This one was obviously very plain, but I had a good feeling about it nonetheless because of what eBay was telling me in terms of like comps and sell-through rate. Over to Poshmark now. So for Depop, I did go through every single sale between July 20th and August 2nd. But for Poshmark, I just picked my best sales, my highest dollar sales for these couple of weeks. And then I did the same for eBay. So this first thing I wanted to go through on Poshmark is this new soft surroundings blue pink floral sleeveless, which I misspelled that. Summer Rosalia maxi dress size medium. I got this description from probably Soft Surroundings website. And then in my description, I put the keywords vacation, resort wear, beach, colorful, and tropical. I paid up for this dress. I paid $10, but it was new with tags. So I was like, I think it's going to sell well. It sold for an offer of $39, making my profit $21.20, and this took 60 days to sell. I love that this dress was maxi length and very artsy. It was definitely a piece that I would even consider picking up if it wasn't new with tags, although Soft Surroundings definitely sells best in the larger sizes. Now, this is a pair of Freebird. This one I did get from Uptown Cheapskate. It is in one of my Uptown Cheapskate hauls. I was really surprised it sold for my full asking price. I maybe could have even gotten more for them, but this is a Freebird by Steven gray stone buckles open toe studded violet booties size 10. In my description, I put the keywords bohemian, cowgirl, country, grunge, and festival. I paid $22 for these at Uptown Cheapskate, like I said, sold for my full asking price of $115, making my profit $70, and these only took 20 days to sell. I did have this stock photo, which was kind of blurry, so I didn't include it as my main photo. That's what I usually do when I have like a stock photo that I found using Google Lens, but it's blurry. I'll have it like not as the first photo, but maybe like a few photos in. Next sale I wanted to go through on Poshmark is a pair of Danskos. Some of my highest dollar sales on Poshmark these past couple of weeks have been shoes. I'm actually getting low on shoes I have in my inventory because when I did that Uptown Cheapskate trip, I only picked up a few shoes and I got so many clothes. So I haven't been out sourcing, and that's when I usually find a lot of shoes. This is a pair of Dansko black blue patent leather slip-on professional nursing clogs size 9.5. In my description, I put the keywords nurse, comfort, supportive, casual, and closet staple. I paid $8 for these. They sold for $40, my full asking price, making my profit $24. Yeah, $24. And these took 76 days to sell. I really liked the colorway on these. They were in pretty good condition. I think there was a little bit of like peeling in certain places, but I think that area, like the rim around the opening of the Danskos, is faux leather because often when I'm outsourcing and I come across a pair of Danskos that look okay everywhere else, there is major peeling along that like rim area, and so I don't end up buying them because it's just too much. So I don't know why people like put faux leather with real leather because it's going to drastically decrease the life of the shoe. Next sale is another pair of Danskos, which also sold for the same amount. This is a pair of Dansko brown leather Mary Jane classic arch support short wedge Shauna shoes size 6. I got a big paragraph as well as a stock photo. In my description, I put the keywords feminine, minimalist, supportive, comfy, schoolgirl, old money, and academia. I paid $7.50 for these shoes. I actually just like quickly stopped into Savers one day, and I think I looked in a few other places, but I went to the shoes specifically, and usually Savers has their shoes priced really high. Savers is honestly one of the most expensive thrift stores near where I live, and I just don't try to go there very often. But I found a pair of black Danskos and a pair of brown Danskos right next to each other, and they were both marked at like $8.49, and then I had like a 20% off coupon. And it was so amazing because I sold that pair of black Danskos a couple weeks ago on eBay. I might have talked about them in a previous What Sold video, but now these have sold, and it was just a really good Savers find. I paid $7.50, like I said. They sold for $40, making a profit $24.50, and these took 53 days to sell. I have not found a pair of Danskos in a while. I think that I only have like one pair left of Danskos in my inventory, and it's a pair of sandals that have like had no interest. I sold these Vionic gray suede minimalist supportive Debbie suede moccasin flats, size 7.5. I just realized I put suede twice again. I put two words in the same word twice in a listing description or a listing title. It's late. My mind's boggled. Anyway, in my style tags, I put comfy, arch support, everyday, neutral, and casual. I paid $5 for these. They sold for $31, making my profit $19.80, and these took 45 days to sell. I have like two other Dansko flats in my store. Have been sitting for months and they have been getting like no traction. So I think that this was like a newer style, maybe a more desired style. But yeah, it kind of sucks that I can't get those other two Bionic shoes to sell. But then right after I sold those Bionic gray suede moccasins, I sold another pair of Bionic flats, which I actually got both of those shoes from the same store. I picked up 3 pairs of Bionic shoes at the same store. All 3 of them for $5 each. This is a pair of Bionic black leather minimalist classic contemporary haze loafer flats, size 7.5. In my description, I put the keywords dainty, business casual, office career, work supportive, comfy, and preppy. I paid $5. I don't know why I had to think about that. They sold for $36, making my profit $23.80, and these took 46 days to sell. So the other Vionics took 45 days to sell, so I must have just like listed them a day apart. Kind of great that they sold like at the exact same time. Okay, that's it for Poshmark. I have a few eBay sales I want to go through, a few non-clothing items on eBay. So this is a Buckingham brown leather body belt climbing DRS size 22. I have no idea what DRS means. I also don't know what size 22 means because that doesn't seem like a waist size, but anyway, I'll get to why I picked it up in a second. In my description, I put the keywords outdoor, tools, sturdy, and durable. So I was at Savers, another story at Savers, and this was like during or like around Christmas time. And I was looking in the hard goods section, and this just like stood out to me. It looked very quality. The leather looked really nice. It was marked at $9.99. And so I just looked up Buckingham belts on eBay, and the sell-through rate and average sell price weren't too bad, and like the comps seemed pretty high. So I was excited. Pitched it up for $9.99, sold for an offer of $64, making my profit $39.77, and this took 206 days to sell. So a while. I originally had it priced at like I think at 100, and then I lowered the price a few times, and it sold for 64. Next sale. This is a pair of cleats I picked up in Hawaii. I remember specifically picking these up. I actually have a vlog on my channel, Thrifting in Hawaii, and I think I show me picking these up. But this is a pair of new Nike Black White React Vapor Ultrafly Elite 4 low metal baseball cleats, size 13. In my description, I put the keywords sporty, casual, and neutral. I paid $8 for these. They sold for $55, making my profit $33.80, and these took 89 days to sell. I knew that these were new because they had like a Ross tag on them, and then they also had the store's price tag on them. So I just cut off the Ross price tag and I sold them for $55. They had like no signs of wear, and I just had to look them up on eBay, and lo and behold, they were had a really great sell-through rate and everything. So picked those up. But Nike is really hit or miss. It's very style specific, and you just have to look up every style because I have Nikes that I've gotten that have just sat forever. Okay, so this is not like a high dollar sale, but I really wanted to include it because I loved these jeans. I think I could have gotten more for them because they sold so quickly, but I was actually at I think I said this in my past haul video, but I'm going to tell the story again in case you didn't hear it. So I went to Uptown Cheapskate to do a buy to trade in some clothes that I got at the Goodwill outlet for some credit. And while they were doing my buy, that's what they call it, I was just browsing and these jeans popped out to me and I like gasped internally. Because I thought these were so beautiful and I wanted to like buy them to resell because I knew that they would do well, but they were marked at $30. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to work out. Well, when they were doing their 80% off sale, these happened to be included in it. And I was like, no way, these jeans are still here. And they were, so I bought them. This is a pair of BDG multicolor patchwork embroidered boho hippie high-waisted flare jeans, size 29. I actually highly debated about keeping these for myself. In my description, put the keywords artsy, colorful, and 70s. Patchwork is such, I don't think there's not, it doesn't work. The term bolo doesn't work with keywords, but patchwork, if keywords had bolos, patchwork would be one, because patchwork is just a highly desired style. And I noticed when I got these home after I started taking pictures of them that like right in the crotch area there was this tiny mark, and I think that I could have gotten it out, but I decided not to mess with it. I paid $6.30 for these jeans. They sold for $28. Like I said, I think I could have gotten my full asking price, but I took that, making my profit $14.98, and this took 16 days to sell. All right, last sale of today's video is a pair of glasses. Oh, it looks like I need to go to the next page, back to page 1. Okay, so I sold this pair of Oakley glasses, my first ever pair of prescription glasses to sell. So this is a pair of Oakley black rectangle. So this is a pair of Oakley black rectangular reading eyeglasses frames, 5018. Don't know what that means. With case OX3101-0350. In my description, I put the keywords Oakley black rectangular. Oh, I just put the title looks like again, which is weird because I thought I would have put like great premium condition or something, but I guess I didn't, or maybe it got deleted in the cross listing process. But I had this listed for $50. I did accept a $30 offer. I only paid $1 for these at the thrift store. Eyeglasses at the thrift store are so cheap usually, making my profit $21.80. And these only took 47 days to sell. So you can't technically sell prescription anything, I believe on eBay, but there's like a way around the system, okay? And certain eyeglass brands can sell really well. I think I have one other pair of eyeglasses listed, prescription glasses, and they're from the brand Scott Harris. So what you do if you want to list prescription glasses is you state the brand of the glasses and maybe, a few other features. You put eyeglass frames or eyeglasses frames, right? Letting the people know that you're selling the frames, but then also put the prescription just in case someone's looking for a certain prescription. And then in the item category, you pick the category under eyeglasses. Don't click prescription eyeglasses. Click eyeglass frames, because you're technically selling them as eyeglass frames, because you're not allowed to sell prescription glasses. So you sell them as eyeglass frames, and then you just sneakily include the prescription. Not sure if you were to do this often, if like you'd get banned on eBay, but I feel like you wouldn't, because it's not like pills or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I just was like, wow, I can't believe I sold for $30. And it also came with a case, so that probably helped increase why it sold better. But yeah, that is all the sales.
That's it for this what sold video. I really appreciate you watching. If you stayed all the way until the end, I was about to stumble on my words there. Please hit subscribe and like and comment. It definitely helps my channel get out there more. I've been on YouTube now for more than a year. And I think I started to lack motivation to do videos because I just felt like no one was watching my videos. So if you do watch my videos and you like them, definitely let me know by liking this video and commenting something nice. But hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.